undocumented immigrant is not a criminal, and we have to correct course in this conversation. Una persona sin papeles no es criminal. Sí se puede.
What's up, Show Gang? What's up, YouTube? Today we're talking about how a Venezuelan gang is taking over a daggone apartment complex in Aurora, Colorado. Let's hurry up and get on it because this is interesting. Because earlier, New York was having a problem with the Venezuelan gang. Now Colorado having a problem. Like, this is what happens when you open the borders. I'm just saying. Well, let's get on it.
Aurora's mayor says the city will spend money on temporary housing for people who are living in an apartment complex being shut down by the city for terrible living conditions. Some of the 85 families living in that apartment building near Colfax and Nome gathered today along with community advocates asking for more time. They've been ordered out in 6 days. They're asking that they not be punished for the fact that the landlord allowed horrendous conditions to develop over years there. Piles of garbage, rats, sewer backups, no electricity.
Most assistance programs require time to resettle someone to another home. The planning and execution of this abatement is reckless and insufficient.
Today, Aurora Mayor Mike Kaufman told us that the municipal code dictates the faster timeline for closing that apartment building. He called the owners out-of-state slumlords who are currently being taken to court by the city for allowing their properties to become so dangerous. That property owner and now 3 conservative city council members in Aurora say that the residents and the city are not telling the truth. They claim, without evidence, that the building is actually being closed because it was taken over by a Venezuelan gang.
That building has been a problem for years.
Mountains of garbage, rats, sewage, no electricity. Aurora Mayor Mike Kaufman defends the unprecedented decision by the city to close the entire apartment building at Colfax and Nome.
We've been working with this building and its owners for a very long time. I mean, they're out-of-state slumlords, and they haven't maintained the building.
The landlord from New York has hired a public relations firm out of Florida and now has several of Mayor Kaufman's fellow conservatives on Aurora City Council convinced that the real issue is not years of code violations, but a city cover-up of a takeover of the complex by a Venezuelan gang.
They say it's a cover-up, but I'm hearing from on TikTok, it's all over the place how the residents are talking about, hey yo, this is not this is not a slumber situation. This is the gangs are taking over the hotel. They're charging people rent, and they're basically the new landlord. And they say, oh yeah, you do something, whatever, we're gonna kill you and your family and stuff like that.
Have a Venezuelan gang problem that has taken over a number of our apartment complexes.
The city of Aurora says that's not true, and Aurora police urge city council to be wary of misinformation.
We don't know that all the information that's publicly out there right now is correct. It's probably not.
Aurora police say they believe the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua is operating inside the Denver metro area. There's a new task force working to identify the number of gang members and what they're doing.
They're here. We know they're here. We think this was a test.
City Councilwoman Danielle Jurinsky suggested that a recent mass gathering of Venezuelans to await election results was linked to the gang. Mayor Kaufman says it's counterproductive to conflate a gathering of thousands of people with gang activity at a time when Aurora needs help from Venezuelan immigrants to root out the gang.
It's challenging because they tend to prey on their own. In other words, these are Venezuelan gang members within the Venezuelan community, which is new to our area, and there's a fear factor in terms of trying to get the cooperation among these Venezuelan migrants to report, that they're being victimized.
The conservatives on city council made clear that nothing the mayor or police were saying trumped their feelings.
This is just what we believe. Our opinions are not up for debate. This is our beliefs. The 3 of us believe that there is a gang problem, a huge gang problem, that apartment complexes and areas of our city are being taken over.
This stuff would be easier to believe if this was only in one situation that this happened, that they had a gang takeover, not necessarily a gang takeover, they're having issues with Venezuelan migrants, but they're having the same problem in in New York. So if you're having this multiple locations, it's more, you gotta think about, wait, is something actually going on? Is the police and the mayor actually telling what's going on the truth, or is the other side correct? Because Why explain they're trying to cover something up? And this is getting close to election, so you're like, of course they're gonna try to cover up. Oh yeah, the migrants are being an issue because they want to be able to bring in more migrants and stuff like that because cheap labor replace voting population. I don't know. Maybe I'm a conspiracy theorist. Maybe I'm not. But this is just some ideas I have so far. See, this stuff would be easier to believe if you couldn't find situations like this happening in New York where they're having problems with the gangs. So if you're trying to say, oh yeah, that's not the actual gangs that's taking over a daggone apartment complex, when you could see even on TikTok, people are making reports of, oh yeah, the gangs are taking over a daggone apartment complex. Well, check it out.
Police are trying to tackle the rapidly escalating violent crime among Venezuelan gang members in the city who have gotten into New York.
Fox 8's Linda Schmidt talked to the NYPD, who says this crime wave is one of their greatest challenges. She joins us live from the newsroom now. Linda, what can you tell us tonight?
Well, basically what you just said right there, this is one of the NYPD's biggest challenges right now. Now, the NYPD expects the migrant Venezuelan gang crimes to actually get worse in the city before it gets better. They're waving the guns around.
Correct.
Waving guns and flashing gang signs on this video. The NYPD says these are suspected members of the ruthless Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua, which has been infiltrating the U.S. for the last 2 years. NYPD Assistant Chief of Detectives Jason Savino telling me it is believed this video was made while the gang members were in Ecuador, and its purpose is to recruit new members.
Then, when you fast forward, you see the same individuals where? In Times Square. So that's our concern.
The NYPD says Tren de Aragua has been making it over the border with the migrant influx and is getting established in New York.
See, this is what I mean. If they're able to get established in New York, now they're having places in Colorado. There's gonna be different daggone gang locations that's gonna happen all over the world. And what's gonna happen next? Next time there's a major incident, they're gonna be like, oh, it wasn't the gang, it wasn't the gang. But now that we're actually seeing what's going on in New York, Colorado, how many more cities does this have to happen to before we realize, wait, something is going on? Maybe we should like calm down on the bringing in migrants. Maybe we should have a vetting process versus just say, hey, let everyone in, have mass daggone illegal immigration, and then just say, hey yo, y'all get a free pass for this one. But next time nobody else come in. But like, does this not make sense? And you not see how you're having more people come into a country where you're not like being able to produce more goods, more resources, more stuff for them. And because the people ain't able to work to get those stuff, they're relying on the taxpayers that already live there to pay for their living situation. You not see how that can cause inflation. Like, I'm not saying I'm no daggone genius economics, but when you bring in more people into situation and like not gradually bringing it in, but bring them in like and like 11 million to a country of daggone what 300 million, I think America is. When you bring that much in, that's gonna have a problem with inflation. When you're sending money overseas to different foreign wars to help take care of your allies, that's gonna have a problem on inflation. We can't just keep printing money. The bubble is gonna burst sooner or later. But I'm not economics. You could just go ask people about that actually knows more than me.
If I told you this was happening in 2024, would you believe me? Let me tell you how crazy this is. In Aurora, Colorado, there's a Venezuelan gang that has taken over 2 apartment buildings. I kid you not. The landowner has contacted the local authorities. They said there's nothing they can do about it. That's squatter laws, bro. I kid you not. Look this up. Number 2, he went to the FBI. They said there's nothing they can do. And he even went to the marshals, y'all. And this Venezuelan gang has taken over the apartment building. They're charging the tenants inside rent money like they're the landlords. Meanwhile, the real landlord can't get these people evicted. All the people that's leaving the apartment buildings, as soon as they leave, these Venezuelan gang members are just moving in more gang members to a point where they are taking over the building with guns.
I was gonna say I'm not against immigration. If you do it the right way, come here legally and then assimilate well into the culture, like more power to you. But if you're coming here in large droves and large caravans illegally, and then forming gangs and forming just small sectors where like that's your community and it's forming your own little towns within the country, that's not a benefit to America because a lot of people that come here illegally, they're sending a lot of money back to their home country, and that doesn't help our economy at all. And then we're gonna spend they use our tax dollars to give them different cards so they could be able to afford to live here. They use our tax dollars to buy hotels for them to live here. Like that's why inflation is so high because we're paying for the migrants to come in here. We can't have like 10 million people come in here and not have a plan for them. So we just gotta put them in a hotel, send them, okay, this hotel had enough of them, so we got to send them everywhere else. And then they're forming then they're gonna say, "Yo, bro, I want to be able to eat, I want to be able to survive." And then they form gangs and stuff like that, so they could survive. Are you not surprised this is going on? Like they're able to say, "Oh, we're gonna take over this daggone apartment complex, and you're not paying the landlord no more. You're paying me." And you don't see this stuff happening. You see this stuff happening in daggone Colorado. You see this stuff happening in New York. Sooner or later, it's gonna happen in your town. I mean, then you're gonna start to worry about maybe I shouldn't vote blue no matter who. But what do I know? I'm not an economist, so you could say you can go look this up yourself. And then they're trying to do price control too. Hey yo, I don't even want to get into how that's gonna cause. That's just gonna be bad for the economy in general. If you don't want me, if you want me to get into that, I'm not the one because I'm not an economist. Economist. I don't know how to say that word. English is my second language, but I digress. If you want to ruin the economy, start trying to do price caps. And people just say, I'm not selling my product for that. I'll just hold on to it. Or people are like, I'm getting out of this business in general. I'm so like, and then the government gonna start saying, hey, yo, no, you can't get out that business. We're gonna force you to do it because we need those products, right? But I digress. If you like the content, let me know. Like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment down if you don't like the content about how I can improve. But hey, I've been trying to talk slower because y'all been saying I talk too fast. I'm trying on that, working on that. But hey, yo, I'm out.
And we're out of here like a screaming herd of turtles.